Hey everyone, I really enjoy reviewing open-ear earbuds. It's like a whole new world of true wireless tech and it's improving really fast. And the Shokz OpenFit are proof of that, bringing you industry-leading sound, design, and comfort. They do have their issues though, so I'll be comparing them to the best of the best open-ear earbuds, because as usual here, we're going in depth. Now, starting with the design, these are incredibly tiny, the smallest open-ear earbud I've tested. Compared to the Aladdin Stereo and the One Audio Open Rock, they're gigantic compared, and you can tell a lot of effort was put into the design. Most of the bud is made of a super smooth silicone. The wings aren't moldable, but they're super thin and just lock right into your ear. I have slightly larger than average ears, and for me, they're incredibly comfortable. The Aladdin Stereo were the most comfortable open earbud I've tested, but the Shokz take it to the next level. And since these are, of course, an open ear style, nothing is going to be digging into your ear canal. So the OpenFit, out of all the earbuds I've tested in my YouTube career over close to 4 years, are the most comfortable true wireless product I've ever tested. And unlike other open ear earbuds that are usually quite chunky, I can actually lie down on my side on a pillow with the OpenFit. I probably couldn't sleep a full night, but like a quick nap and just lying on my side, like going on my phone, lying on the side for a little while would be fine for me. So best comfort, but not really useful if the buds don't actually stay on your ear, especially for this kind of earbud. You're probably going to use it when training, so that's exactly what I did. I do it with all my true wireless earbuds that I test. I take them through my weight training workouts and on my runs, and they work perfectly. In my weight training session, they stayed in place really well. I never had to readjust the earbuds, leaning over for rows, lying down for bench press, deadlift, squats, pull-ups. They stay on my ears perfectly fine. I personally wouldn't use an open ear style of earbud because I normally want to block out all the noise around me, all the annoying gym music. But if you want to use them when weight training, you should be fine. But it is when running where these really do shine. It's in the nature of this style of earbud. You're able to hear your surroundings as clear as not having any earbuds in, because there's just nothing digging into your ear canal. So in my running test, I took these on one of my long runs. I ran for just over an hour and they stayed on completely fine. As you can see here, for proof of testing, it was a cold morning and I'm steaming, and the OpenFits definitely helped me on that run. And the extra benefit with using an open ear style of earbud is that you get no body-borne noise from the impact that you make on the ground, hearing your own breathing. Like, you still hear your own breathing, but it's not like reverbing in your ear, which can happen with a lot of earbuds that use an ear tip due to the suction it creates in your ear canal. So great stuff with the fit. It's the OpenFit, so you would expect it to be really good, but overall best open ear fit that I've tested. And if you're like me, you want to use your earbuds when you're training, you get very sweaty like me as well. These have an IP54 dust and water resistant rating. So this is fine for sweat, use in the rain. You just can't submerge the buds in water. You can probably do it accidentally, but definitely avoid it. Now, in terms of battery life, you're getting an advertised 7 hours with the earbuds, 28 hours in total with the case. And in my test at 60% volume on an iPhone 12 Pro, here's what I got. You aren't getting wireless charging here, but you do get some fast charge, so chuck the buds in the case for 5 minutes. You're gonna get 1 hour's playback on the earbuds. And the case itself is really well designed, like the earbuds, a smooth matte finish on the outer surface. And this is probably as thin as a case is gonna get, where the actual buds have hooks. It just takes up a lot more room. The way they cross over themselves, you can put the left down first or the right down first, it doesn't matter. So really great design that's really well thought out. And you get one colored LED indicator on the front of the case, so you know when you need to charge your case up. Now onto the controls. This is the first floor of these earbuds. You're pretty limited with what you can control because you're only getting a double tap and a long hold. You are able to customize it in the app, but still you don't get the single tap or a triple tap, so you're going to be pretty limited. You do have the option to add volume control, but only on the long hold. So for me, this does work fine when I am running, because all that I'm doing on running is I put on a mix, and all I want to do on my earbuds is be able to adjust volume. So at least there is the option for that. Still, a single tap, triple tap would have been nice to see, especially when the Aladdins and Open Rock do allow for full customization, including volume. There is no in-ear detection, not really expected with an open ear earbud. None of the open ear earbuds that I have tested use in-ear detection. At this price, you could kind of expect it, but not a huge issue. Now, the connectivity you're getting here is Bluetooth 5.2, SBC and AAC, so no high-res audio, no high-res codecs. Not a big deal at all. No multi-pairing, but you can use one earbud while you leave the other in the case. And if you are using just one earbud at a time, it doesn't work in mono mode. So for example, if you're using only the left earbud, while you leave the right in the case, you're only going to hear the left audio channel out of that earbud, not the left and the right. Same with the right earbud, you're only going to hear the right audio channel. So this means you may miss a little bit with whatever music or media you are listening to. Now, latency with watching videos is completely fine. These are definitely not a gaming earbud, but I test all my True Wireless earbuds latency to see how they work with gaming. So here's what I got in my test on both iOS and Android. 400 milliseconds is fine for casual games. You want to get closer to 200 milliseconds if you're into faster reaction games like shooters. Now let's head outside and see what the call quality is like. I will compare it to the Aladdin Stereo because they have really good mic quality. So here are the samples. All right, so starting the test here with my iPhone 12 Pro microphone, so you get an idea of the noise going on around me. All right, so here is the call quality of the Aladdin's wearable stereo. All right, so here is the call quality of the Shokz Open Fit earbuds. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, before we talk about sound quality, if you are enjoying this video, please chuck a like down there because it really does help the video out. Now, when we're talking about sound with any open ear True Wireless earbud, you need to bring your expectations down, especially when it comes to bass. You're not going to be getting the amount of bass like any earbud that uses an ear tip. The sound that you are getting is going to be closer in comparison to something like the AirPods 3, which is a semi-in-ear style of earbud that doesn't use an ear tip, but they still do rest in the ear canal. So you are going to get a more full, rich sound with more bass since there's something digging into your ear canal. That's a big struggle with open ear earbuds. Since the sound kind of has to bounce around and be angled down into your ear canal, you're just not going to be getting as full of a sound with other types of earbuds. But the sound you are getting here for an open style of earbud, it's seriously impressive, and it's very impressive when it comes to bass. But with a catch. I'll quickly touch on the EQ customization that you get. So you get some presets in there. None of them sound very good. With an open style of earbud, you can only really EQ them so much. I found a very subtle increase in the bass. It did improve the fullness of the bass very slightly, but they sound just fine with the stock EQ. Now, talking about the bass itself, this is the fullest bass that I've heard on any open style True Wireless earbud, because you're actually getting a little bit of deep sub bass rumble, which is rare to hear with this type of earbud. So listening to electronic music, you get some nice hard hitting bass when those drops kick in. With rock and metal, you hear the low end from distorted guitars and double kicks. Bass lines and orchestration sound rich and full, which is usually pretty lacking with open earbuds. The mid-range here is pretty solid. It is slightly recessed, but you're getting just enough boosting in the mids, so vocals are clear, they're natural, but they could be a little bit more detailed. The treble is nice here, has a little bit of sparkle to it. You're just not getting a high resolution treble response here, so you're not getting the most detail. You're not going to be getting the best instrument separation. Also, just kind of a thing with this type of earbud. I keep saying that, but just so you know. The soundstage though is quite open, so it sounds like the sound isn't coming right in front of you. It's a little bit wider, more to the side, kind of away from you, which is in the nature of this type of earbud. So overall, it's the best sounding open ear style of earbud that I've ever tested. Way better than the Aladdin Stereo. Although do keep in mind, I'm pretty sure I have an older version of that earbud and it got updated, but I wasn't made aware of this. I reached out to Aladdin's, they haven't got back to me yet, so that's their problem. But they're also better than the One Audio Open Rock I recently reviewed, which were the best prior to the Open Fit here. But here's the catch, it's a pretty big one. If you're listening to more bass heavy music, this is mainly gonna be the case with electronic music, dubstep, hip hop, stuff like that. But also with instrumentation, any music where there's some hard hitting bass, the earbuds above roughly 60% volume will start to distort. And it's mainly going to be with things like kick drums, drops, heavy bass lines, heavy sub bass. There's very noticeable distortion. And I do have 2 pairs of these in testing and they both do the exact same thing. I reached out to Shokz and they were aware of this. And it seems like their approach was to push out as much bass as possible below the 60 to 70% volume range. And this isn't entirely their fault. It's just in the nature of this style of earbud. You got to use a really big driver and you got to push that driver to limits because again, nothing is in your ear canal. So the driver has to work a lot harder, push that sound into your ears. But still, I think Shokz should have been able to adjust that EQ and bring the bass down at those high volumes, which it still does it, but it's just not doing it enough. And that's what the Aladdins and Open Rock do. You do hear a lot less bass at those high volumes. volumes, and the OpenFits still do it, they're just not doing it enough. And it is tricky because some songs I'll be listening to, mainly instrumentation, like some rock songs, some metal songs, you can crank these at 100% volume with no distortion at all, and then chuck on another song, has a bit more low end to it, it is gonna distort. And if you do want to crank these at those high volumes, the distortion is probably going to be there, but they do go super loud, which is very important for an open earbud. And I also noticed they leak a lot less sound than Aladdin's and One Audio at those high volumes. So overall, these were almost the perfect open ear style of earbud. If you don't mind listening at more moderate volumes below 70%, they still go pretty loud at 60 to 70%, then in that case, they might be worth it for you. But if you are interested in more open ear style of earbuds, be sure to check out this video here. In the meantime, stay picky. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.